And to actually get my voice commands to work, watch this. Right, it doesn't work. To get it to work, I have to press the horn. Play Jay-Z. This is one of the best features of the Model X. Look, I'm still going up. I'm still going up. I'm still going up. I'm still going up. Does it feel outdated? Should you get a used one? Yo, welcome back, everybody. I tried to come back to one of the original locations where I filmed back in 2020 when I first got this Model X. And this was my very first Tesla. And it means, you know, it means something special to me. It kind of started this whole Tesla wave on my channel. So I'm gonna break it down. It has some ups and some downs, but this video is for someone who's potentially interested in purchasing a used Model X, or if you have a Model X now, how is it gonna age over time? Now, this is a 2020. Some people say this is the best model. It's the Raven Model X. I don't know about all that. All I know is it was my first Tesla, and it was great. It is great. Like, there's some things that I really, really like about it, some things I love about it, and some things that, you know, all right, I can see that they needed to update. First of all, just talking about the styling of it. Now, they have updated it or refreshed it, and there's different things that they've changed, but essentially it's the same. Same shape, same style. It's the same Model X that they have out today. Now, I did get the long range model with 350 miles of range, and that has definitely went down. The last time I charged close to 100%, I think I was around 298 or something like that. So it did degrade a little bit. I went with the 20-inch wheels, and I did powder coat those to make them black. The 2020 had chrome all over, and we went ahead and added a chrome delete package. So in my opinion, we improved it. We kind of thought about what we liked, and I think the refresh models, they took a lot of inspiration from people customizing their cars and deleting that chrome, so that's why they went away from it and making the wheels black and things of that nature. But the styling still looks great, right? We have a couple dings here and there. I did not get the full PPF like I kind of wanted to. I just got it in the front. So I got a clear PPF all on the front, on the side mirrors, just to protect it. And I kind of wish I did the whole thing because there are some dings and dents on the side. Small, but still, I wish I would have done it. But I went with the Stack PPF, and it's held up phenomenally well. You can't even tell it's on there. And it's easy to clean. I highly recommend anybody that cares about the look of their car to get PPF on it to protect it. Like the front, after 5 years, right, there's no chips, there's no dents, there's no dings. The headlights have it on it as well, so they haven't yellowed at all. So I highly recommend that for everybody. I mean, if you care. If you don't care, whatever, right? But I know on my Lexus that I have for 14 years, it's all messed up in the front. Chips and yellowing, and again, that's 14 years, but still, right? It starts early. But this PPF is supposed to last 10 years, and it's been 5 years, and it's held up pretty well. Going back to the tires. Now, we did finally switch to some Hancooks. We had Continentals that came with it, and we did swap them out once and put Continentals on again. That was about $900 a pair, so we spent like $1,800 for all 4 of those Continentals. So then this is our second set of replacements, and we spent a little bit less, like $400 each one. So we ended up spending like $1,600, $1,700 to replace them with Hancooks, and they've held up well. So with 70,000 miles, we've changed the tires twice, but everything else is held up pretty well. So this model came with a key fob, and it's pretty cool because there's lots of controls on there. Look at that, locking all the doors. Closing it. And there is app integration, but it came later on in software, and it's not as strong, it's not as accurate as the newer models. So I always carry my key fob with me. You see it's shaped like the Model X or whatever. If you get a used one, make sure it comes with the key fob. So this is how it works, right? You keep it on you, and you walk up to the vehicle just like you would with your app, and it will unlock it. and open the door for you and open it all the way for you. And that's one of the features that really makes this car premium. The door is open for you, right? And if you want to manually open, you can open the side doors, the Falcons. Check this out, right? All with the key fob. And sometimes it's easier to grab the key fob than, go through the app on the phone and things of that nature. But that's what really makes this more premium. Things like that. And there are more moving parts which can fail, and we did have failure with one of our Falcon Wing doors that we had to get worked on 3 times. And this door right here sometimes does not close all the way. Watch, if I just push it, it closed that time. But you might be familiar with all the ways you can open and close these doors. If I could push it like that, I can pull the handle, it'll close. And there it is. And of course, there's a button up here to close this, or you can close it from right here. But we've had a few issues with the driver door not closing all the way sometimes. And, we'll get a warning that your door is unlocked. So that's kind of annoying. Not the worst thing in the world, but you know what I mean. It's annoying. We did get a 7-seater. So you'll see the bench seats in the middle. 3 seats right here, and then we have 2 more in the back. Kind of tighter, but one day I did have 6 grown adults in here and they were fine, and they were all, taller men, and we were fine. It's just, right, so these seats are not powered. So to get to the very back, you come here and you have to move that and slide that up, and it works, right? And I'll fit back there too as well. But it's sometimes like, oh, I got to make sure this seat is forward than this one, and then we can get back there. But if you were thinking about getting a 7-seater X or 7-seater Y, definitely go with the X, because there's a little more room, but not very much. But if I did put it back here like this, you see how much room is back there? Yes, you can fit, and you can move this seat up a little more. So that's the maximum amount of room that you can have in the very back. And the headroom, I mean, it works for a 7-seater. It works out for us. My kids are smaller. I mean, they're in 6th grade and they fit back there fine. And even my 14-year-old sometimes wants to go back there and be in his own world, and that's fine too. But for a 7-seater, it works. And people are always surprised, because if you look at it from the profile, it doesn't look like a 7-seater, right? It looks like a 5-seater because of that slope in the back. But 7 people definitely fit back there. But another thing is this rear trunk space. It's not very much. So because we wanted 7 seats, we don't have much trunk space. And that does actually come into play when we have luggage, we're going somewhere. And we've taken this on a few road trips. We've taken it up to Reno a couple times. We've taken it to Phoenix. We've taken it to Northern California. And the best part was we had unlimited supercharging. At that time, we bought it right before they got rid of it. And we're like, oh, let's take it on all the road trips. And we did, right? But there's sub-trunk storage right there. But again, not much space at all for storage. The front is a little bit larger, and again, I really like how I can just use the fob that's in my pocket and pop open that front. And it's a larger front. As far as Tesla's considered, it's not as big as the Rivian's, but I think this is the biggest front. Well, the old Model S's had a bigger front. It was like way back there and had another opening, but that's like the 2013s and all that. So I do use the front more with this vehicle because I had a key fob and it's easy to pull it out of my pocket. But that's it as far as storage space. But we did have 7 people, but we did have to think about how much luggage we needed to take or could take. Now, you can buy different attachments like to, carry, or like a little trailer, a little hook in the back, something that you can carry more storage luggage with. But, we didn't do all that, and we didn't need to, but we do have to be mindful of that. So think about that. But look, it's a beautiful interior. Okay, we're gonna get to the interior in a minute. So far, so good. Yeah, so being by my original location, it's a freeway right here. Hopefully it's not too loud, but I'm gonna go ahead and get in this cabin. It's funny because, you know, we have this walnut interior and we get compliments on it. And some people even think we added this ourselves, and we did not. This came with it, right? The Performance or the Ludicrous has like carbon fiber, but this is the actual interior we got. Oh, you see that? The door didn't close all the way. See that? So sometimes it closes, sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna step on the brake. That time it closed. All right, so here's the interior, and I actually love the way it looks. It looks classy, right? The wood grain, real wood grain. And we were in a Starbucks line, and someone was like, "Oh, I like that interior," because they don't see that too often, right? It looks unique. It looks different. You do have the dual screens, the one in front of your instrument cluster behind your wheel, and the vertical screen right here, which is super old school. And to be honest with you, I love it for maps. For maps, it's the best thing. For media, not so much. And, you know, I don't know, as a driver, I really like having this vertical screen. I saw on the Lucid, I think, it can change the orientation from vertical to horizontal, right? Landscape to portrait. But I actually like the way this is set up. And being inside this interior is pretty nice. There's more controls on the door handle. You have your mirror controls here. And we all know on the newer models, everything's on the screen. This steering wheel, I've had some issues with the steering wheel. I mean, I think this is one of the last ones that had real leather, though. It's real leather, and you can tell it wears like real leather as well. But my voice commands don't work anymore. These buttons don't work anymore. And to actually get my voice commands to work, watch this. Right, it doesn't work. To get it to work, I have to press the horn. Play Jay-Z. Isn't that funny? So like some of the cables are probably twisted up in there somehow. I don't know, something that maybe that we do want to get fixed eventually, but just another reason for us to not use the voice commands. We have gear stalks here. We have many more controls back here. So lots of different knobs and things of that nature in here. We actually have a glove box button. What? We have extra storage down here. A nice mirror. And this was the first model that had a wireless charger in here. It's not the best, but it works. And it's, look at that. But it only holds one phone. And then we have deeper storage here where I would use my bigger cups and my hydro flask. And it came with these weird little partitions here. You can configure it to whatever size you need. You can set up a couple of those. But you can clean it all up like this. 2020. We got these nice vegan leather seats. But look at this interior. Just take a look. Man, that's beautiful. Oh, I love the way it looks. So everybody talks about this silly sun visor. This silly sun visor that, you know, it works well because this is tinted up here. It works well, but not for the side. If you have, you know, the sun coming here on the side, you can't just take it over here and look at that. You can't really drop it unless you're gonna break it. But it works well for when the sun's in front of you. Speaking of the sun in front of you, look at this huge windshield. This is one of the best features of the Model X. Look, I'm still going up. I'm still going up. I'm still going up. I'm still going up. You have such a view. Panoramic, wide open feel. It literally feels like a spaceship. How do I know? Because I've never been in one. So I don't know if it literally feels like a spaceship. It literally feels like what I think a spaceship would feel like. That makes more sense. And look at it. I mean, it's such a wide open space. I love this windshield. The Cybertruck kind of comes up like that, but it's blocked by the visors, the sun visors. So it's not the same. There's no other vehicle that has a windshield like this. And this line doesn't bother it at all. This was before we had the interior cameras, so you know, there's more steering wheel nag when I'm driving this with the full self-driving on. But that's the interior of it. And the interior has held up really well over 5 years. The only problem I'm having again is this door closing. Let's try it again. Oh, see, give me some issues. And it closed that time. And sometimes we have issues with the window closing. Let's see if it closes this time. It happened last night. Let's see what happens now. Okay, it works. So it does have some issues here and there. And as far as the software, you can control it, all of the doors, the front, the trunk from the screen. The front is not powered, so you have to press it. It unlatches it. You have to go out and do it. Open it up. But look at this. Boom, boom, trunk. I can open the door for my wife. She had a bunch of Starbucks in her hand today, and I went, open the door for her. And it's pretty slick, right? And then when you're ready to go, close all. That still works well. Now, it would be more annoying if it was the passenger doors that were giving me a hard time, but this one's used the most, so maybe the motors are dying. And we actually had the motors changed on this, and it still didn't fix the problem. So I don't know what to tell you about that. But that's one issue. And as far as the software, it's a little older software, but it still gets updates. But there are some things that it still doesn't have that the newer models have, like the blind spot camera, right? When I'm turning on the newer models, it'll pop up on the screen. We don't have that option here, right? So there's a bunch of little things, but look at that screen. Look at that huge area navigation where it'll help you. And when you're driving, the navigation pops up in this cluster as well. And it's just more information at your disposal. This screen is not necessary, but it is nice to have. Very nice to have. But it drives nicely. The clicking noise is the only thing that has us concerned, but the air suspension is great. It still runs very smoothly, very softly. I will say that I think they did tweak the air suspension on the Cybertruck, because as big as that truck is, with those all-terrain tires, it still feels more smooth than this Model X. But this is a nice, comfortable ride. It feels like a yacht. This has always been like my favorite Tesla ever since, you know, from the beginning. Has the Cybertruck replaced that? It's different, right? It's different. But this rides so smoothly, so nicely. Look at that. It's just, it's a very comfortable ride. I think you would really enjoy driving this. If you have a family of, you know, 3 kids or more, this might be the vehicle for you. Now, does it feel outdated? Should you get a used one? If you're okay with it being out of warranty and rolling the dice a little bit, we actually bought a 2013 Tesla Model S, and we rolled the dice. We got it for like $10,000, and we had issues with it. Battery issues immediately. So it is kind of scary getting a used model, a used Tesla, because you really don't know. I mean, you can use Recurrent and see if there's a battery history report on it, but that Model S didn't have one. So definitely check out Recurrent to see if there is one. If the owner was smart, they would monitor the battery with Recurrent. That way they can sell it at a higher rate because the battery is in good shape, you know, assuming it's in good shape. But this is a beautiful ride, a beautiful car. My first Tesla and my favorite Tesla. I said it. 71,000 miles, road trip king, but it doesn't have the latest hardware. You got to remember that. But buying a used car, whew, it does feel outdated because we have a Cybertruck and we have a Model 3 Highland. It does feel outdated, but it's hard to give up that unlimited supercharging that I'm about to use right now. And It's a different experience, right? It feels different. I was gonna get a Model S after I got this, but I wanted something different. That's why I went with the Model 3, because the Model S interior is exactly the same. At that time, was exactly the same as this, and I wanted a different experience. But the new Model X's are nice. They feel different. They look different. They feel more modern. A little more future-proofing with the latest hardware. And there's another Model X right there, looking dope. It's an old one too. Legacy we're called with the chrome. She still had the chrome on hers, but I don't know. It's actually got an estimated trade-in value of $35,400, something like that. So that's pretty good. Oh, we got a Cybertruck right here in front of us too. Woo, matte black. So 35,000. This has held its value well, and that's a trade-in, not private sale, right? That's trade-in. They talk about these cars depreciate so much, and most cars do, but I don't know why. This Model X is, held its value pretty well. Let's see what's up with that Cybertruck owner right there. Oh, where he going, bro? Oh, he took off. He's out. Look at him, he gone. So we have thought about maybe, I don't know, trading it in and getting a newer one. We'll see what happens. Would I buy this again? Absolutely. Am I sad to let it go? Absolutely. This started it all. But look how spacious it is in here. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget, Cobra told you. All right, y'all.
Downtown, I got that heat. Let's go.
Say bye to Cersei.
Bye, girl.